Welcome to Your Sport Swindon. I'm joined by boxing trainer Paddy Fitzpatrick. How you doing, Paddy?
How you doing, brother?
Very good, thank you. Now, there's been a lot going on Twitter the last few days about Eamon O'Kane, one of your boxers, and a potential fight with Spike O'Sullivan. Your thoughts on that?
Well, potential fight. Potential is the word at the moment. It started off as I think it was the IrishBoxing.com put out a tweet there about Eamon, Spike, Matthew Macklin and Andy Lee, saying about the four good men. It'd be nice to get a kind of round robin going between them, or a tournament going between them. And I tweeted back that it would make sense as well for those men at this stage in their career. Obviously they'll have their own opinion, but they're the other side of 30. I've never seen anyone get younger. And there isn't any of them that, Andy's lost his world title, the rest of them, like Eamon's lost his last fight, eliminator for world title. Spike lost his last fight to Eubanks, and Matthew has had the one fight in the last year. But they still are good names, and they still mean something in boxing. But the world titles are going to be tied up for the rest of the year with unifications. But those men fighting each other at home would make a lot of sense. People then picked up on, I think it was Spike against Eamon, and then somebody else tweeted Eddie Hearn about Andy against Matthew Macklin. Eddie's response was that he likes the idea of that fight. I think Matthew is fighting in March, I believe, and then it'd be good to do that fight in the summer. I put out there then again that we'd like the idea of Spike fight. I got a lot of respect for Spike. I've met him a couple of times, a cool dude. I like the way he fights, he's a warrior. Eamon is the same. Eamon's coming off a brutal fight in New York. He's entertainment the whole night long. And to see the two of them men going at it, they make each other relevant again. You know, if they don't fight each other, who else do you fight? I know that Eamon's got his IBF Intercontinental, he's still got a world ranking. Spike has got his North American belt, but then he'd be defending that in America against an American dude. There wouldn't be a load of money in that. There wouldn't be a load of money in Eamon defending his Intercontinental. It would be just done just to keep nudging him back up the rankings again. But them fighting each other is relevant to any Irishman. And it makes a lot of sense. Spike liked the idea of it because he liked a couple of tweets, and then Packy got on board and said, let's make this fight happen. I had a quick word with Packy today on the telephone. He likes the idea of it, so both teams are up for it now. It's just to see if there is a promoter that's willing and wanting to put it on. Packy, I see that he tweeted Eddie Hearn and Sky and said, let's make this happen for April. There's a show going on in Belfast, which would be great. But we've yet to see now if it makes sense for those men, and we'll wait to hear.
And they're two very, very similar fighters, as you said to me on the phone earlier. Postage stamp.
You could do it on a postage stamp, yeah. And you know what? The tweets came in really fast and heavy. Both positive. There was no one picking sides. They were just saying great fight. And that's a really cool reply to get. There was no one jumping on one side and saying, oh, this man or that man, which you don't mind if they do. It's a fight game. You don't mind if they have an opinion like that. But what I'm saying is the main opinion was just a great fight. Let's make it happen. And it's a fight that makes a lot of sense. Like I said, the longer these guys go without a relevant fight, the more they become irrelevant. And I think it's a fight that makes sense for them, and so does, like I said, the other boys. So if it makes sense for Eddie Hearn as well, then that'd be nice. We can move forward.
If you were a neutral fan looking at that matchup, how would you go about picking a winner there?
That's a pointless question to ask me, isn't it? Because
I thought it was a good question.
I'm not a neutral fan. I see that as I see them men as both very similar to each other. They both won't give ground to each other. They're both going to meet in the middle. It's how much if anything, have they lost off the losses? Will they have lost a piece of ground off it? You know. Spike had a really hard fight, and Eamon had a really hard fight only another couple of months before him. You know, it'll be the best man win. there's no need for trash talk or badness in that fight. No need. Both of those men will be the best of friends, and as soon as they hear the bell, they'll turn into what they are, which is warriors. You know that. You hope some fights will be good. You look at some matchups and you think, I reckon that'd be a good matchup. That's a matchup where you know what you're getting. You know you're in for a hell of a night. 12 rounds of a war. It's a plus for everyone involved.
And if it does happen, it could be a career-defining fight for both of these guys that are desperate to win, world honours.
Well, you know what? It's Nick Blackwell's got the British title, and the board have nominated Chris Eubanks. I don't know if the purse bids have been won for that. I don't know if Eubanks has taken that fight or not, but he beat Spike for a final eliminator for a world title. Why he's going back to the British title, I don't know. But that's those two men put to the side. They've got something to take care of. Tommy Longford is fighting for the Commonwealth title in February. He's ranked high in the WBO. If Spike and Eamon were to fight each other, the winner of that then could either go on to fight somebody like Ryder or somebody in an eliminator for the IBF, or Eddie's got quite a few middleweights there. You wouldn't be short of good fights, good matchups back here. If they don't fight each other, like I said, who do they fight? There's no one else out there that makes as much sense as them fighting each other. And I don't remember any time, and if somebody does, they can let me know. I don't remember any time that Ireland's had two men world ranked in the same weight division. So for them to be meeting each other, the response already in the space of 24 hours shows that people are interested in it.
So it looks like everyone's starting to talk about it. How quickly do you think this could become concrete?
Yeah, that'll be down to, like I said, it was Packy suggested Sky and Eddie Hearn. He tweeted that today. They've got a show going on there back in Belfast. If Eddie thinks he likes the idea of it and Sky likes the idea of it, then I guess the next thing will be for us all to agree on what's being offered and then just get on with it. It could be that quick. Simple as that. It's not just down to us. Both teams have agreed it. Both teams have agreed in principle. Yeah, let's do it. Let's have a fight. Both me and Packy have agreed that we'd be ready for April. But now you need a promoter to put on that show. Packy has suggested Matchroom. If Eddie's up for that, of course I'm cool with that. They put on great shows. So that's, I suppose, the next move. I suppose is up to Eddie and Sky. He's the missing link, I suppose you could say. Yeah.
And obviously, prior to that, a month before, that potential date, Eamon's going to be fighting and headlining in Swindon. So that'll add a little bit extra to that fight, won't it, for the Swindon fans?
A little bit extra to that. People would be people liked Eamon when he fought here last year. Like I said, people in boxing knew who Eamon was, but people in Swindon didn't necessarily know who he was. But there was certainly a buzz about him, 2 minutes after his fight was over. And then, like I said, we didn't get the result we wanted when we went to New York. But he sure gained a lot of fans when he left that ring. As he was walking back to the changing rooms, people were just stopping and turning around and applauding. It was a brutal fight, and not necessarily fights you want to repeatedly be involved in, that intense and that brutal. But you know what? Himself and Spike, it's going to kind of be the same thing all over again. Both of those men not giving ground, but it's a fight for a reason. It does mean something. Eamon, if he wins, he gets ranked in the WBA, and then he's ranked by two organisations. Spike, if he wins, he gets ranked in the IBF. What title would it be for? It could be for Intercontinental. It could be for something a bit better if we can arrange that. But that'd be down for more clever men than me to decide.
Well, we hope it can happen, because it'd be one hell of a fight, and we'll watch this space and keep close to you, Paddy, to find out if it happens or not.
Watch this space, yeah, exactly. It's all there to happen now, and we just need somebody who says, yeah, I want to put that show on, and it's all systems go, I think.
Thanks for joining me as always, Paddy.
No worries, brother. Thanks, man. Peace.
Yes.
You got it.